my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you I'm sick of being normal. I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal. I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want. I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil. Channel rage through my vessel into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness. I could feel changes, turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest, break out of my cages. I will not be nameless, I will not be aimless.
Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
You are now live with the Locked In Podcast. As always, your hosts for the evening, Steve Ushler and George Mecaj. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to turn notifications on to stay up to date with the most current personal development tips and sports analysis. With that being said, welcome to the podcast and enjoy the show.
All right, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 165. As a highly requested episode. What's going on, George? Welcome back in, as always.
What's up, man?
The other side. What's up, brother?
What's going on,
Kevin? How you doing? I'm good, bro. I'm good. And I want to welcome back returning guest, my boy, Rob Laventure. Rob, what's up, brother?
Skirt.
What's up,
You.
What's up?
What's
How
going
you
on,
doing,
man?
bro?
I like the Eagles. I like the gear.
Yes, sir. Gotta represent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course. Highly requested topic too. So it all actually worked out because we had a guest that had to kind of postpone to the future, which actually works out well because we're kind of locked up until about like mid-April. So with all this going on, a lot of people reached out, like, hey, you guys can cover this. So it's a great time to cover it. You know what I mean? As Philadelphia Eagles fans, it's Howie season right now. We got all these crazy moves we'll get to. We'll break them all down, and we're going to be joined also by two other guests. Well, one of them is tentative, but another one will be in here, Rich Mitchell, and then possibly Marius, Rafaeli as well, both returning guests. So, yeah, guys, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll hop.
Hit the notification button, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Hit
turn
that
those
bell.
Notifications on. Hit that bell. Turn those notifications on. So, yeah, man. Crazy time right now in Philadelphia, to be honest. We have everything that's kind of going on with the moves. Like the first big one we saw was the Saquon Barkley one, which was real crazy. Like I knew that like Swift there was no guarantee that they were going to bring back DeAndre Swift. But then when he got signed by the Bears, when they even though it was still the tampering period, once we kind of saw that he got a contract with the Bears, I kept hearing a lot of big things about Barkley potentially coming here. I heard that the Eagles and him were both on agreeing to terms, and I heard a lot of good things. So as soon as I saw Swift go to Chicago, I was like, this is probably opening the door for Saquon to come here. So I'm excited. Rob, I know Penn State alum on your end, man. You saw this guy play, man. What's this?
Sir.
How special is this kid?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Man,
Come on.
Man, this guy was supposed to be the next coming of Barry Sanders. Like, that's how good he was in college. I've seen him around campus a couple times. The dude's quads is huge. This man is a monster. He dominated college football like no other running back I've seen in a while. Kind of compared to Adrian Peterson. So, like, man, I'm excited. He's doing well in the NFL. Yes, he has some hiccups, some injuries. But I don't believe the Giants really unlocked his potential because of what they surrounded him with. A running back can only go as far as his O-line and his quarterback. So I'm excited to see what Saquon will do with our offense. Man, I'm excited. So I believe he's going to do some damage because all the weapons surrounding him, and they can't stack the box like they did in New York.
Exactly. I agree 100%, 110%, man, 110%. Rich, what's up, brother? Welcome in.
Hello, can everybody hear?
What's up, Rich?
Sir, what's up, brother? Yeah, we were just talking about, we just kind of hopped right into it, so we were talking a little bit about the signings and stuff. We're talking about Saquon. I agree with what you said, Rob, because I always say that, like, the whole thing with Saquon is that, like, when he was playing for the Giants, I think last year you look at, like, what their offensive line was actually ranked. It was like 26th or 27th, something crazy. And the Eagles had arguably the best offensive line in football. And on top of that, the Giants never had the weapons that the Eagles have. We have Jalen Hurts at the quarterback position. We have A.J. Brown. We got Devontae Smith. They just picked up Devontae Parker, too, who we'll get to. Dallas Goedert, tight end. This is a complete – and then the offensive line, like I said, it's arguably the best offensive line in football. Even with Kelsey retiring, we still – they extended Dickerson. We got Cam Jurgens. We still have Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata. This is a nasty O-line.
Jake Elliott. We got some kicker. Yeah, we got some new guys.
Yeah, on the offensive side of football, though, like it's a completely stacked team. And you add a monster, a guy with the potential of Saquon Barkley on the roster to do something. He could do some crazy damage. Like, I think last year he had about 950 rushing yards. And that was with the Giants O-line, like with no weapons around him. I can only imagine what this kid's going to do coming here. And I can just think of Christian McCaffrey. Like, Christian McCaffrey, when he was in Carolina, is a good example. Like, he was a great running back, but like you said, your running back can only go as far as your offense can take him. Like, you see what he does now in San Francisco with a complete offense. It's completely different. And a lot of people try to say, like, the age and everything. When you think about it, Saquon Barkley is only 27 years old. He's only 27. Exactly. And he had one bad year with an injury in 2020. And outside of that, he has been able to stay relatively healthy. I mean, getting almost 1,000 yards every season, if not already exceeding 1,000 yards. He's had some plus, like, 1,300-yard, 1,400-yard seasons. So I'm excited to see what this kid does when he gets here.
Right, and for the Eagles fans complaining about him, look at his highlights in his rookie year against us. Look at one of the runs that he did against us, and that would change your mind. This dude is a beast. Look at his college highlights. One of the brightest stars that come out of college. That's why he was picked number 2 as a running back. So, and that doesn't happen.
No.
So he had all-star talent. This guy's a beast. He just needs to get his potential more unlocked, and I feel like the Eagles are the perfect place for that.
Exactly.
Can I speak to something Rob just said?
Sure.
He was talking about the talent and the highlight reels against us. When we play New York, or where other teams play New York, back when Barkley was on New York, the game plan was always geared towards what are we going to do about Saquon Barkley. Like, it was never, no one was ever worried about Daniel Jones. Nobody was really ever worried about anybody on the New York offense.
Except for
everybody
Barkley.
was like, what are we going to do to make a game plan? How are we going to stop Barkley? That's what everybody always thought. Yeah, exactly. And so with the acquisition of Saquon, I think it takes a lot of pressure off Hurts. The mainstream media will try to spin it and try to be like, oh, is it going to be more pressure? I think it's going to take a lot of pressure off Hurts.
Always starting polemics and bullshit, bro. The media always says that. Like, they always question the signings and this and that, but they do the same thing in basketball, in other sports, especially in something with the Philly sport media. I don't know what it is. The Philly fans are very, like, suspicious about everything. Like, they don't trust nothing until they see it happen, which I guess, but I get it.
Yeah.
We'll be alright, though.
I mean, I like DeAndre Swift. I thought DeAndre Swift, to Rich's point, DeAndre Swift was
Swift
a good
was good.
running back, but like Saquon is like he's like a next level.
He's like a little higher. I mean,
game changer.
Game changer for sure.
Yeah, I've seen in the comments people keep complaining. Oh, why we let Swift go? Oh, Swift is injury prone. He's not much better than Swift. Swift was a beast. Don't get me wrong, but Swift is not Saquon. I'm sorry. It's just
There's levels to it, right?
Yeah, the sheer power Saquon has compared to Swift. Swift was real shifty, but Saquon is shifty and has the power. Like,
Saquon is explosive, goes in.
They're afraid to tackle him, so it's just like that's a different.
Like they hesitate, yeah. No, I like, to add to that, Rob. You know what it is, bro? People hate change. If they like a player and you leave, it's like it's the conception. Oh, it's on their mind. He's so sick because Swift left or Kelsey retired and all that. But next thing you know, you get somebody who's probably possibly a little better. Even saying they're both really good, but he's stronger. So it depends on fit his team. But a lot of questions will be answered by the first few practices. Because they already announced them and all that. So we'll see where that goes, though. But definitely good signing. I remember when it happened, like the next few days, nobody talking about. So it's like, all right, cool. Which makes sense that we're talking about it and the dynamics behind the team and the signings and all that and the new guys.
I was gonna say, like, Swift got paid too, so at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pay somebody. You're gonna have to pay either Swift or Barkley. If you're gonna ask me who I'm gonna pay Saquon Barkley. Like, at the end of the day, like it's like you said, he's shifty and he's got the power. I mean, you see the dude's quads.
The franchise player.
There was we see the way that dude's built. It's ridiculous. They were saying something. It was like the tush push is going to be scary this year because they showed the 2 videos of Hurts squatting and then they showed a video of Barkley squatting. They said this is going to be just the way this tush push. They said the most perfect play already got more perfect. Like the odds of you like converting.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And even with Barkley's press conference, seen his introductory press conference earlier today, and he just seemed happy to be an Eagle. Like, he just seemed happy to be home. He was just like, and to the injury-prone stuff that people were talking about, Rob, that you were saying, like, a lot of people with anxiety about the signing, like, he prides himself on the way he takes care of his body. He's not injury-prone. In my opinion, I think he just ran behind a really bad offensive line for years, and that is going to do some damage to your body when you run behind an offensive line as bad as the New York Giants offensive line. Now you're in Philly. Now he's a fresh start. He's healthy right now, so let's just wait and let him cook.
Let him do his thing. My one boy called me on the phone today. He's like speaking crazy. He's like, he's gonna have 2,500 yards. He's gonna be the MVP. He's like, I'm putting money down. It's gonna be plus. He said it was plus 30,000 for him to get MVP. He might be watching this right now. He's like plus 30,000. He's like, I put down 100. I'm gonna win 30,000 on this. And he's like 2,500. The only thing is, running back. I was telling him, I was like, hasn't won MVP since Adrian Peterson did it in 2012. Man, it's been a while. It's been a while. They usually don't. Christian McCaffrey, he came very close this year. He almost had it. But yeah, they just favor quarterbacks. It's just usually how it is. It'd be hard for him to win. That's why his odds are like plus 30,000.
We got too much weapons too. We got to spread the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see him dominating the ball that much.
No. But it's gonna be crazy. When he to have him on top of like the wide receiver duo that we got, plus Goddard, plus even you brought in a third wide receiver now who's still better than Quez Watkins or even Zacchaeus. You know what I mean? Bringing Parker in on a 1 year, it's gonna be nasty. And then you got Hurts that can run the football too. Like, it's just so dynamic. Like,
yeah, we're getting better. We're getting stronger as a team.
Yeah, I think some people were pissed because some people I saw were saying we should have used that money to sign Patrick Queen, like a linebacker and stuff. The thing is, I could not see Howie giving that type of money to a linebacker. We just don't do it. I know we do need the retool the linebacker.
sorry to cut you off, but it's just like new news, like just new news, right?
What
just
happened?
now, we signed linebacker
Update?
Devin White to a $7.5 million contract 1 year.
There you
Oh.
go. There you go.
Right on the podcast. We broke it down, you guys. Don't forget, you heard it first.
And,
Yo,
yeah,
I was
it
just looking
worked
at too.
out.
He said that you're rich. Like 3 hours ago, because I was looking at some news for the Eagles. He said that we would actually look for a linebacker. Next thing you know, they just signed somebody. You see, it moves fast, man. It moves fast. That's good.
Yeah,
there we go.
man.
All right, Eagles, good stuff.
Howie
young.
Vision.
The agency is looking for talent.
He's young.
We just
too.
living in it. Howie Vision.
How much they paying him? $7 million, you said?
7.5.
Well, it's worth up to $7.5 million. I gotta look for the base, but it's an incentive-based contract. So, but it looks like it's gonna be up to $7.5 million.
Cool. I'm actually gonna put this on the. I'm gonna put that on there. So you got it on the bottom there.
Breaking
Linebacker
news. There we
Devin
go.
White.
Eagles signed
He
Devin White.
linebacker. Yeah,
He's
no,
a
Devin
Devin
good
White's good.
linebacker. He's a good linebacker.
He is, and he was the best. He was the last. I think he was the best one still available, to be honest. So we got who the best available was, because Patrick, like Queen and all them off the board. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't think Howie was going to spend $40 million on a linebacker. We just don't do that. Like, that's just not how they're built here to
he
do
never
it.
spent linebacker.
That's important though. We got it. Okay, we actually have a pretty decent stud linebacker, young, like you said. That's important. I do think they need to get another corner. I think that they do need another corner there, because Bradbury's obviously out. We're not bringing Bradbury back. He's gone. He's gonna hit the bricks. We're gonna bring back Slay. Slay though, he's just gonna keep getting older. I think they do need to bring in a cornerback. Now, whether they'll do that through the draft, I don't know. I was hearing crazy rumors like Patrick Surtain and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
for Josh Sweat and
Josh Sweat, and some picks, right? You definitely have to give up picks. He's only 23 years old. If the Broncos do that, if we lock down Surtain too, shit, and then we just let everything else go through the draft after that, because we locked down Surtain, we got Devin White. Like, this is going to be like filthy. Like, then you can just draft for best available. You don't essentially have to draft for need, which I think is always the best position. If you can draft best available, you're in a good position.
That's even better. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the available you have.
Exactly. So,
The Eagles definitely doing their work. Some signings.
Yeah, so I got like the whole list here. It has the Devin White one's obviously new, so I'm actually gonna probably have to let me see if I refresh this. So this is gonna come up. Now, not yet. So it's probably brand new news. So,
We have to wait a couple hours. So
yeah.
good.
So the first one was the Eagles. What we did was Brandon Graham coming back another year, did the 1 year extension. We signed Dickerson to a 4-year contract, well deserved and much needed. To keep that offensive line strong. They signed. They came to terms with the long snapper Rick Lovato, small deal. Braden Mann 2-year contract extension for the punter. Jake Elliott agreed to a 4-year extension, and then the big ones, obviously Saquon on a 3-year. We got Bryce Huff too. We'll get to that. Defensive, we got Bryce Huff here on the defensive side. We got linebacker Zach Vaughn to a 1-year, and then offensive lineman Matt Hennessy. And then the other two big ones, Devontae Parker on a 1-year. And then we're bringing back C.J. Garner-Johnson in the safety, another huge one on a 3-year deal. So, and then obviously Devin White now on a 1-year. That was a big one too, C.J. Garner-Johnson. I'm happy he's back in Philly, man.
Yeah, that was a crazy signing. We brought him right back. He was excellent for us. I think he apologized to the Eagles fans for what he was saying on his departure. He was a little salty, but hey, you play well, we forgive you. That's all we care about.
Exactly. I saw some fans were so mad. They're like, why are we bringing this guy back and all this stuff? It's like, yo, at the end of the day, I kind of agree with him. Like, we got some fans here that are a little crazy, a little annoying. And, I mean, the Bull did have his car stolen this year. So, I mean, I kind of agree. You know what I mean? And he was salty. He wanted to come back here last year, like, it. And then, like, he signed – his agent kind of screwed him. He wound up going from a 3-year to a freaking 1-year deal in Detroit. Now, he essentially found a home for the next 3 years. He's here. We locked him in for 3. Yeah, and I'm excited for that because we needed that in the safety, to be honest. Like, we couldn't just rely on Blankenship. And then who's the other one that we got back there? What was it?
No, it was Dinner from the Titans. The safety from the Titans.
Yeah.
He was garbage.
Oh, yeah, Byard. Yeah.
Byard, yeah.
Who they released. They released him anyway. They released Byard.
Yeah, we cut him.
Yeah, the Titans knew he was cooked. Like, he was done. So they just gave him to us. So yeah, we couldn't rely on that.
I thought I seen him working at Checkers around the corner. Like,
Now, I don't know about that, but once you're cooked, you're reserved. He's a bench warmer, bro. He's out there to kill mosquitoes and kill bugs on the bench. I think get some camera time, but that's all right.
I mean, he was cooked. He was in the kitchen at Checkers, so I mean, he was cooking.
He
was cooked.
I cooked.
I think those knees, those hands got cooked. My man can't run no more. He was like, just, but a lot of players got released, man. It's like, what's new? Every year, there's always like, people don't realize in NFL, every team really kind of releases a few players every year that don't get a lot of playing time. Some of them go, to smaller teams. Some of them go to the minor leagues. It's just, if he's not playing nowhere, there's no purpose with the team, bro. It's a dynamic, bro. We all know there's something going on in the locker room, like last season and all. So this is a year, to go redeem ourselves and get better, And we have something. Barkley's help. He's gonna help.
Another one I can say I'm happy he's going is Nicholas Morrow. I got tired of seeing that dude's jersey to the back of like the wide receivers every single time he'd get cooked. Yeah, Morrow would get cooked in that line.
Another good riddance. Another good riddance.
I got tired of seeing the back of that dude's jersey.
Oh my God.
God.
Every time you see a big pass play to a tight end, you see Morrow behind it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, what the hell is a linebacker doing covering a fucking wide receiver? It's crazy, man. I don't know what they were like. That was just horrible. But, I mean, the Bills picked him up. They must have saw something in him. But you know what? It's all about scheme, too. I don't know. Like, why are you throwing a linebacker on a wide receiver? Like, but he couldn't tackle either. That San Francisco game was horrible. That dude, like, Debo, broke right through him.
Oh, gosh. Sad.
That's crazy.
I agree, man. You got to get players that match the city. You can't just pick anybody up off the street. Like, you got to get players that are passionate like how the fans are, because you got guys like, and I like Darius Slay. Darius Slay is a pretty solid corner, you know what I mean? But, it's tough when you have players that don't understand the city. I mean, thankfully, he corrected himself, or he kind of cleared up things when he was saying, like, Eagles fans are giving us anxiety and XYZ. A lot of that stuff, I mean, it's people like Kelsey and Cox and Graham, they really understand the culture, and this is why, like, a lot of fans like them, because, we're not booing you per se, we're booing how you're playing.
They were statesmen. They were statesmen in Philly, those guys. They're like, again, the culture, they're veterans, they've helped. Some of them were there in the Super Bowl, so they understand that, like, there's a certain way you got to, like, move in Philly, like, represent yourself as a player, do your best. If you play like shit, you're gonna get better a little bit. But if you play shit and you're not gonna have no real, so like you don't have accountability and you kind of have a shitty attitude, like you don't want to be here, or you're working hard, a lot of fans will call you out, and it's happening in other sports too, especially in football and NFL and all. So yeah, the new guys, I mean, like you said, Rich, are gonna be some of them might have some tough shoes to fill in, but I think like a lot of them will do fine here, because we're a welcoming city, just that we expect so much so quickly. That's the thing. Our fans are just impatient, but that's how it is. I mean, so yeah.
Howie knows that. That's why Howie's gearing up for the Super Bowl. Like, he's loading up.
Exactly.
Every year he tries to load up for the Super Bowl.
Yep. We have expectations here, and that's the thing. It's we just hold the players accountable. That's all. If they play well and they give their all to the city, we'll love you forever. That's always how it is.
Our real fans love you forever. Sure.
And you play hard. And
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Build them a statue.
I mean, oh man, the next Rocky.
When have you ever seen a backup quarterback at a freaking statue, man?
That's crazy. Well, a backup quarterback that won a Super Bowl, but yo, guys, last night actually. Speaking of that, so I'm hanging out somewhere. It was like I was a little free, like towards another night. I'm like right there by the Art Museum, but like Love Park. I'm chilling there. You can see the the building, the blue building that changes colors. There's another one there with the time and all that. They had like the picture of Fletcher Cox. It said Fletcher Cox, thank you. And it's like the years before the Eagles, man. That shit was tight. I ain't gonna lie. From far away, you can see. I was like, yep. I was like, salute that. But I was like far away, so it looks so nice to view the city. And I have a video I'll show you guys later. But it was like really cool. And then sent you the Kelsey one. They did something like I forgot. He was doing something where he jumped in and he cracked a little trampoline with fire. But he was like dressed really thick. And then like they had something like they said like thank you for your years and your service as an Eagle. Forever an Eagle. Once you play for Eagles once, man, and you actually leave your mark, like, yeah, this city will owe you forever. Even though we have a lot of crazy fans that talk a lot of shit and a lot of, switching fans and all that, the diehard fans understand the sport, they actually are respectful, will like you. We might be a little tough, but no one will forget their deeds and their hard work in the field, outside the field, and their leadership and their, the good energy they brought there. The fact that they're both Super Bowl winners, Kelsey and Fletcher. Fletcher Cox. Yeah, they'll never be forgotten, man. I've seen people say it. I've seen it on like right there on the ad of my job at the Lilas. This place on the ad. It says they even had a rest in peace. What's his name? What was the rapper that died from Philly? PNB Rock. They said when he passed away, they had it right there on the thing. So they'll say like, "Thank you for what you did." Even like last year, we lost somebody. I think something they wrote there. "Thank you guys, the proud guys." We lost Super Bowl. I mean, but second place is still, it's not the worst finish. So I mean, we might hold you accountable, and it seems like our fans are very unappreciative. But it's only a few of them that kind of give the Philly and the Eagles fans like a bad name. I think most of them who understand football know that it takes a lot to kind of put down here and put your neck down in the city. And put your foot down and also stay on top. And if you're in a bad day, we're not going to abandon you. But like you said, it's about having accountability and improving. There's no way you're not going to improve unless your time is up. But it's never like that way. Some players just don't want to be here. Injuries get involved. And then sometimes it's a team thing. A.J. Brown. Antonio Brown ripped his own shirt off and walked off the field. So, I mean, anything could happen. But, yeah. Go ahead, Steve. Or Rob, whoever was next. Somebody was talking. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying. I was like, yeah, no, as long as you give your all here, it's just, that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you give your all and you play hard and you actually try to improve your game and continue to grow, we're appreciative of it. But I'm like, that's the thing. Like, if you're like look at what Ben Simmons did here. He's like the most hated villain. That's an extreme measure. He all the way on the other side. Like,
I know. I know you're gonna say about Ben Simmons. He's like the one that comes to mind. But even James Harden, people were not really like feeling him towards the end. It's like
I don't want
we're known to bring.
So I'm just saying, like,
right. It's just an example of of taking accountability as a player. People are saying that Sixers, and not to go on basketball, but they have a habit of bringing players that are near the end of their careers. Well, Harden looks happy when he's back in his hometown of LA. But like you said, if you don't want to be here, we're not going to be really hold your hand. We're going to hold you accountable. We will call you out, but
I was going to say,
take football seriously.
Yeah, I was going to say going back to Fletcher Cox. I was a little shocked. I didn't really know if like Fletcher was going to retire. I had a feeling Kelsey was, like, obviously, but Fletch had a long career. Now BG, this was like his BG's last year too. They signed him in 1 year, and I think he said he's going to retire next year. So this is BG's last year. But these are all culture guys, man. They're guys that understand the city. And then you got to think, like, Lane Johnson, could be retiring soon, too. So these guys have been around for a while, man. It's going to be a sad day, like, we all these guys. BG, too. Like, he's a big, like I said, he's a big, like, culture guy. It's going to be a sad day. But
it's understanding sports in Philly.
BG was drafted by Andy Reid.
I know, man. I know. 15. What's he been in the league? 15 years? 14 years? Yeah, I think this is his 15th.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
It really is, man. So that means he's been in the league since like 09. Like,
wow. It sucks to see some of these guys like Robin. Even Rich was saying it earlier. To see some of these guys retire that are stables, man. I mean, these guys are like a reference point for the younger guys. Like Cox was like, come on, man. If Philly Cox is like freaking like, what I mean? It's like the way they like to treat. Like, remember how Brady was been treated in New England, in Boston? Well, some of these guys were getting treated in Philly because we really appreciate our guys. But back to the point, to see these guys retirement, and I feel like they have another year or two good left in them. It kind of sucks. But then again, they proved everything needs to be proven. A lot of these guys, Kelsey, same thing. His brothers do the great thing. They clearly come from a family of football players. So it's like. Then you had good dynamic. We had Kelsey, we had Swift, the only Kelsey Swift that we care about, obviously. But he left, so it's like we'll see what's up. And of course Kelsey retired, but yeah, it's tough to see some guys go. But the team got to kind of move on, and we got to re-strategize a little bit. So I feel like the new guys will definitely fit in well. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. I would love to hit a practice up just to see those practices with the open crowds. To check one out. I think sometimes you see those things and they show you a little bit like where their mindset is at and what they're doing. But more than that, it's just really fascinating to watch an actual professional team football practice. You're like, wow, okay. When a guy throws that, it's like just watching.
We used to go on the field. Remember that, Rich? Remember we used to go down there and we'd hang around to the end. And if you hung around to the end, they'd let you on the field at the practices. I don't know if they still let you do that.
Probably
now.
need a player or two,
We used to like go down on the field and stuff. Like you actually get to step on like the actual grass and everything, which was cool. We have some pictures down there and videos actually. I think it was me, you, and Marius the 1 year, Rich.
Yeah,
I definitely like years ago.
Remember. Yeah, before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I definitely remember that, and just going on to all the points that y'all were making. I think one reason that Saquon came here that he mentioned during his press conference, it is just an example of what makes Philly so attractive. Despite all the stuff that we get in the media, for being these obnoxious fans or this horrible fan base or whatever. You know, one thing is for sure. You know, Saquon during his press conference was like, "Yo, you know, one reason I came to Philly, man." He was like, you know, even with y'all last year, like, one, he said we got the worst side of the rivalry for the past couple of years. But not only that, he was like, you know, when Eagles made the playoffs, won 11-6, and you know, made it to the playoffs and lost in that first round. And he was like, the fact that that's a down year for y'all, like, he was like, I want to be a part of this organization. The fact that that's a down year, whereas like in New York, you know, it's just like you're just happy to make it to the playoffs if you're in New York. So, you know, just to have a city, he wants to be a part of a city in a sports organization that is hungry and that wants to, like he said, he was even doing the Jalen Hurts quotes, you know, keeping the main thing. He was saying that. So it's definitely still, the culture's still intact 100%, you know. And I think that the players, you know, like BG, we got players like Slay, I'll even say Slay, even as much, you know, stuff as I talk about Slay, he's starting to understand the culture. He's starting to, you know, CJ Gardner-Johnson's coming back. We're getting Devin White. We're getting, you know what I mean? We got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown intact. You know, we picked up Devontae Parker. Like it's
Parker,
so yeah. All the people that we're gathering together and that we're having as part of this team, they're all hungry and they're all motivated and talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
It's like, exactly. It's different when you go from a culture like the Giants, like you said, just happy just to make the playoffs, versus a winning culture. Like here, it's like Rob was saying, Howie every year is trying to gear us up for a Super Bowl. Like our goal every single year is to win the championship. You don't ever really see us in a rebuild year here. Like even if we'd have a down season, we're not planning on it. We're always trying to win. So
we're a big team, bro. We're considered one of the big teams. I mean, even before winning the Super Bowl, like in 2018, we're always like neck to neck with all these teams, and you know, it's like we've been underdogs before, and we also had like some great stories. But that 2018 Super Bowl was something special because a lot of teams don't win it with their backup quarterback, and the way they all kind of went, you know what I mean? That was like they kind of solidified us as one of the greatest teams, you know, ever. And now, you know, it's like we won, you know, Super Bowl 2 years ago. This past year, you know, or last year, this year, we kind of, you know. We didn't do much. I mean, we started good, but it kind of went wrong. But maybe that's what we needed, you know? Like you said, Steve, sometimes losing the Super Bowl or even winning, you get Super Bowl, like, it's like you get like this, like, what do you call it? Like, you're like hungover from Super Bowl. It's like you start, and you got to prove something. But we beat a team that beat us, but then, remember, Steve?
I will say this. There's a lot of like haters from other teams. Like I see in the comments, all this with the Saquon sign, and just to lose, just to not even make the playoffs or losing the first round. Teams are like these other fans of other teams are tending to forget that 2 years ago we were a bad referee, like flag call away from winning another Super Bowl. Like, I mean, we lost by 3.
And we started the season good.
Man, we got 2 minutes to go down the field. You know, they're only up 3, and the way that game was going offensively, I know it's a what if. But I'm gonna be realistic. Like you don't know what could happen. You don't know. Jalen Hurts could have did what he did against Buffalo, like in that overtime game, march down the field and score a touchdown. You just don't know what could have happened. So a lot of these fans of these other teams are funny. You know, yeah, we had a collapse this year, but you know what I mean. Like, who's to say we don't just bounce back this year? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's like kind of funny. And there's a lot of Giants fans out there hating on us, like picking up Barkley and stuff like that. And then I wound up finding out that the Giants didn't even offer him a contract. What's the dude supposed to do? Like he's taking his money, and he's coming to a better situation. So to me, that's a win-win for Saquon.
And like he said in his press conference, the NFL is a business. At the end of the day, if Saquon was hurt, like, they weren't going to pay him. So they don't care that he's loyal to the team. If he's not,
it's all business, bro.
Yeah, it's a business. So you got to do what's best for you in all situations.
It's always been kind of similar in sports. I mean, especially in football. But people want to, cry about what this guy left. The fan base likes him. And Brady can leave after playing all those years. Like over 10 years at New England. I mean, like you said, it's just got to go in 20 years. It's it's like
decades.
2 decades completely. And he was like the star there. I mean, he's a GOAT, but it's like if he could do it, and a player like a franchise player like that could leave, but he was like, I guess he was loyal as well as he liked it there probably, which he's got to be both. He had Belichick and everything else, and eventually he ended up staying and leave. We've seen a lot of good players, even in other sports like in soccer and basketball. They do great one team, but they got to leave another club, and it's part of life, man. I mean, if everybody's like so worry about holding him. Then I come, then he pay him more, you know? Yeah, Saquon had to come here, bro. I mean, I think he just chose to be like, you know what? I'm not far from New York. Philly's a good one. He probably evaluated because our teams want him too, and he chose Philadelphia.
He also came home. I mean, he was from Allentown. He grew up. You know, he went to
Penn State,
grew up an Eagles fan. I think he grew up
probably closer to Philly than Pittsburgh. The Steelers are a little more a little farther out there.
Yeah, like I know Miles Sanders was a PA guy, but he grew up like a Steelers fan, I think. Yeah, but no, like Saquon literally was Allentown. Like he's coming home.
He's an Allentown guy. Ah, makes sense.
That's a beautiful thing to like be able to play for your team. You growing up too. On top of it, I mean, so deep down, you know, he's happy to be here. But it's like you said, Rob, like. Especially with a running back position, you have to take the money when you can get the money because you got to look out for yourself. You know, that's not a position that the NFL tends to pay very highly now. And like you said, if you got injured, the team's not going to care anyway. They're not going to pay them, so you got to look out for yourself.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he said he's getting 26 guaranteed. The Giants weren't offering him that, so who wouldn't take that? Like, who gives a damn about loyalty? Like, he got to take care of his family.
Yeah, it's not a sport about being loyal, bro. Yo, guys, let's be clear. Loyalty exists, but it's not about being loyal. It's about being the best and winning and making teams, you know, like change things around, the dynamics, possibly becoming represent a coach later on. You know, it's like it's not about just loyalty. The teams don't have no loyalty, so why should the players have loyalty anymore? Yeah, I love loyalty. I love the concept. But it's not loyalty anymore, bro. It's all business.
If you don't produce, they're not gonna pay you. So it has nothing to do with loyalty. So
exactly.
He gotta do what's best for him.
Exactly. $26 million guaranteed to go to a better situation. On
nothing to do with loyalty.
I'm taking that.
More about
exactly.
It's a power move, bro, guys. Let's be real, right, Rob, right, Rich. It's a power move. It's just like a business move where he probably wanted to be low, but he's like, well, the money's there, and also the challenge. A lot of guys got to move on. Like for example. I don't want to use this example because I don't stay on football, but for example, in soccer, when Cristiano Ronaldo left Manchester, he played for Real, some crazy. I mean, he revolutionized the game in Real for like 9 years, and then won like 5 Champions Leagues, or 4 in Real, and then he left. He went to Juventus, they went to Saudi Arabia. Why would he go to Saudi Arabia when he can make money? Probably, I mean, our league here is not too bad, it's getting better. Messi plays here, but in Europe, but you know why? Because his money. Could have went there, he could do 2-3 years there, come back. It's a different ball game. Football, soccer, basketball. These athletes are playing longer than like say 92. No, it's not the same. These guys are. Your heart rate's different. Think about it. They're playing longer now. Careers are extending. It's that simple. Football players were not playing that much back in the day. Like that. I mean, they were, but not like guys who play close to like 45 now, possibly 50. Tom Brady did. I mean, some guys are doing it. So it's like, I think the time length of careers have changed. Especially, I mean, I know he has his soccer. I see in basketball too. Cause look at LeBron. Spends $1 million in his body, and same thing in football. I think guys are playing longer, which is like a good thing, but it depends how you keep up too. I mean, if you're smart and take care of your body
it depends on your injuries too, because injuries can happen. You know, you do have to. I think at some points you could take care of your body, too. But there has to be a little luck involved, man. You know, I mean,
play fair. Try to get injured. Be very aware, but it can happen. Anybody can snap their ankle.
George, I want to go back to the one point though about like players staying
loyalty
loyal to a team and stuff like that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, staying loyal to a team. The one thing I'll tell you is like, you look at like basketball, like people always used to say like Michael Jordan, Kobe, like look, they're like athletes that stay with a whole team. I mean, Jordan went to the Wizards at the end of his career. That don't really count. He stayed with the Bulls. But I mean, the team has to level. But management has to level up the team around you though too. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at like Damian Lillard in Portland.
Good point.
Trash year after year. He stayed in Portland for almost a decade, and it's like they weren't making moves to better that team. If you want to win a championship, you know, if the organization isn't helping you, it is what it is. Saquon sitting in New York for like his entire career so far. Running backs also only have a certain shelf life as it is. No one can fault him for wanting to go to a better winning situation. You know what I mean? I just thought the Tiki Barber comments were like hilarious. Like, you're dead to me. Like, dude, what are you talking about? You should know as a former football player, former athlete, it's a business, bro.
Right.
Well, he said he was just joking, though. I mean,
I would hope so.
He was trying to say he was joking, but I don't know. You know how these media people are kind of weird.
Yeah, it's going crazy, bro.
I mean, I hope he was joking.
But you can't tell.
And I feel like the Giants fans should get mad at their organization. Like, they were taking Saquon for granted. They didn't offer him a contract. They couldn't lock up a contract. If they really wanted him, they would have made it happen. They were trying to play with him. And when you have something that's valuable, you play with it. Somebody else is gonna see the value and snatch it up. So they should get mad at the organization. It's like, I don't blame them at all. It's like you have a job making $15 an hour. The terms ain't that great. The conditions ain't that great. And you got another job offering you fucking $50 an hour.
You gotta go.
Better terms, better terms. You could say,
You
"Oh
feel
no,
me?
I'm gonna stay loyal to my job." No, you gonna take the. You
No
gonna take
way.
the $50
Why
an
loyal?
hour.
Ain't no loyalty at that point. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, you gotta do what's best for you. So
At that
if
point,
that job
even-
valued you, they would have increased your pay, but they
Yep.
didn't.
And at that point, to go off with what you were saying, I mean, technically speaking, Saquon is being loyal. He's just being loyal to his
To
hometown.
himself.
He's not even from New York. Like he's from Pennsylvania. He went to college, like you were speaking about earlier, in your experiences going to Penn State. He came up in Pennsylvania. So how are you getting mad at the man for going back to Pennsylvania?
I know. He's coming back. Like they're trying to act like he was literally like a New York. He's from New York. He had Giants fan. I don't know. That stuff's just super weird. My boy Todd just commented. He said it's great to have all these new players, but Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio need to have them all on the same page. No, I agree. I agree. You could have all the talent in the
Definitely
world. You
agree.
saw what happened with the offense last year. As talented as that offense was, you know,
They were not on the same page. Too many conflicts with
Brian
egos.
Johnson.
Yep.
Brian Johnson did not know how to run that offense. It's horrible.
God.
So,
Yeah.
Kellen Moore is better than Brian Johnson, though. Kellen Moore has been on multiple teams and shown what he can do. And the Chargers last year were horrible because their defense was ranked nearly last in the league. They were one of the worst defenses in football. So, I mean, Kellen Moore, essentially, people were like, oh, he lost his job with the Chargers. Nah, it's more so they're bringing in Harbaugh. A lot of those guys, when they come in, want their own staff. You know what I mean? So, how I see it is like Harbaugh's like coming in. He wants his new staff. You know what I mean? And honestly, Kellen Moore actually did pretty decent with the Cowboys, too, when he was the offensive coordinator. So I know a lot of Cowboys fans that were mad that he went. They wanted to see Mike McCarthy go, and he was kind of like the scapegoat. They just let Kellen Moore go. So it can't be worse than Brian Johnson, man. No freaking way. That was horrible.
Can't be
That was
any
horrible.
worse.
How many
Like
games
giving
did
a
we see?
10-year-old a
Like,
Porsche.
It's only up from here at this point.
Exactly. Can't be any worse, man. And Vic Fangio is he's been proven. He's been around the league a long time. I think he'll know what to do with the defense. And I think they're trying to get players that kind of fit Fangio's system as well.
I'm curious about the 3-4 scheme Fangio's going to run. though.
Jacob Harris, Devonta Parker.
Yeah, so
Because-
yeah.
Because we have Carter in the middle, I'm assuming, but he's not really a 3-4D defensive tackle. He's more of a pass rusher. So I'm curious what he's going to do with Hassan Reddick. Obviously, Sweat might go. But the new DN we picked up is perfect for 3-4. But I'm curious what he's going to do with our linemen with the 3-4 scheme.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's actually a really great point. Yeah, I'm curious to see it. Zach commented in. Zach, who's been on podcast before, said, "Good luck with Fangio. I do not have much respect for him, but that is because he was a terrible head coach. Was he the head coach of the Broncos at one point? He's a Broncos head coach. Because I know Zach's a Broncos fan. So yeah, he might be mad.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, so a lot of these guys are good coordinators, but bad head coaches.
Daddy head coaches.
Yeah, it's a lot of that in the NFL.
Exactly.
Look at Ron Rivera. I think Ron Rivera is an amazing coordinator, defensive coordinator, but I don't think Ron Rivera is that great of a head coach, to be honest with you.
Oh, he was the head coach of the Broncos.
Okay, yeah, that's why Zach's not. That's why Zach. So that's really understandable. Obviously, you wouldn't have respect for him. It's kind of like with Chip Kelly with us. He was a horrible head coach for us, so we don't got no respect for Chip Kelly. Similar situation. I was gonna say, Zach, since you're a Broncos fan, what do you think of this move? Like there were like a lot of the talk going on with Patrick Surtain, and there's possibility out there that they might try to get give up Surtain for Josh Sweat and picks from the Eagles. I think it'd be crazy, to be honest. Surtain is 23 years old. If I'm like, I guess it really depends on what the needs of the Broncos are. I mean, I don't know, but he's to trade a 23-year-old corner. He's honestly, that would be crazy. If the Eagles could lock up Surtain, watch out. Like I'm telling you, they get him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if that happens.
Yeah.
Do y'all think it's Super Bowl or bust if we lock him up?
I think
Yes, sir.
because now with Devin White and a linebacker, I was just saying you could draft best available. Essentially, you still have some needs that you could fill, but you'd have a lot of the question marks like addressed through like what's going on right now with like with this actual period. It'd be crazy to be able to draft like that on top of and we have a lot of draft picks too on top of that.
Yeah, well, we gotta watch and see how this tampering thing is going because they trying to investigate us and they trying to take our picks now because we got Saquon. Like
they're like official now. Like they said, like as of today, like these because they were saying yesterday, tampering and stuff. Nah, man, that's crazy. Like we weren't the only team doing it anyway. It was a lot of teams out there. You know what I mean? You saw a lot of moves being made the last couple of days across the league. It wasn't just the Eagles.
Bro, the Bears announced DeAndre Swift signed it before Saquon signed it. That's what Rob was telling me earlier. Yeah. So it was like, what are you talking about? Why are we the only ones being investigated?
Because we're a super team. Everybody's complaining now.
Just like they were complaining about the tush push last year. They're like, oh, that's a cheap move. They need to ban it. I'm so happy they didn't ban it. But they're like, oh, they need to ban the tush push.
They ain't even bring that shit up at the meetings or nothing. They were like, because they knew it wasn't, nobody was trying to go for that. Like, if it happens, right, where, we ban this play because the team is good at it, what does that say for the rest of the teams in the league? So every time somebody's rival is good at a play, they gonna ban it now, so that's why they didn't do that. That's why they didn't touch it.
Man, they really be hating on us, man. It's all right. They hate on us because they ain't us,
No one likes us. We don't care.
For real.
I wonder if the Eagles would have won the Super Bowl with that tush push last year if it would have got banned. Like if they would have, because we were out in the first round, they're like, okay, we'll let it go. But like, I guarantee, I don't know, man. If we win the Super Bowl this year and we're still using the tush push, they're definitely going to be trying to fight to get that thing banned. Can you imagine we win the Super Bowl on like the tush push? Like the final play is like the tush push and we win it. They were like, that's it, we got to ban it.
Yeah, I can see like Skip Bayless like kicking his trash can and throwing his trash can down.
He said this move was like somebody had a thing. It was like a quote of Skip Bayless. Cause I don't watch Undisputed like that, but it was like Skip Bayless said he is not scared of the Saquon Barkley move to the Eagles. It's like, of course Skip gonna say that. Like
the fact that you have to say that, like the fact that you have to acknowledge, like, yo, I'm not scared. Like the fact that you even have to say that says that you thought that this was worth me talking about and worth me saying that. Like,
did you see Pollard went to the freaking Titans too, and now the Cowboys don't have a back? Like,
they don't. They tried to get Eckler, right?
No. They tried to get Henry, and Henry.
That's who
Henry
it was.
went to the Texans.
They didn't want to pay Henry, so they were like, I think they paid Dak. Like Dak is a big cap hit this year.
Yeah, and did Henry go to the Texans? I think he did, right? Was it the Texans? I just want to
Henry went to the Ravens.
The Ravens.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Ravens. Who did Texans get? Texans got Singletary. Let me see. Oh no, they're trying to. I think they might be trying to get. Let me see. Nah, so he went to the Giants. I'm trying to see who the Texans got. I thought the Texans got somebody at running back. Maybe they didn't yet. Oh no! So they're trying to get Joe Mixon. That's what they're trying to get.
Joe Mixon. Okay.
Yeah, because I forgot the Bengals released Mixon. Yeah, no, I think Henry was like a favorite to go to the Texans. Yeah, the Ravens got Henry. It's going to be. I just don't know though. Lamar Jackson we've seen like Lamar Jackson in the postseason. Man, I don't know what it is, but
he gets hurt a lot too, so that's probably why they picked up Henry. Before this this past season, like Lamar Jackson was always getting hurt towards the end of the season. So I think this is to preserve Lamar Jackson's career, that pickup of Derrick Henry. I think it's gonna do them wonders. Watch out for the Ravens.
Save them a little bit.
Yeah, they lost Patrick.
The Ravens looked good last year. Oh, the Ravens did?
Yeah, he went to the Steelers. I mean, the Ravens still have a crazy defense, though. One thing I will say is the Ravens did lose their defensive coordinator. He got a head coaching job over in Seattle. What was his name? Mike McDonald. He was a pretty good defensive coordinator. I mean, he had a lot of talent, though, too. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't know who they're bringing in as their defensive coordinator.
They had a decent team.
Yo, completely.
Looking at their roster last year.
Yeah, completely unrelated to the Eagles. All I gotta say is I'm happy the Eagles are in the NFC because the AFC, the NFC, I'm happy the Eagles are in because the AFC is loaded. You look at it. The Ravens are still going to be good. Chiefs, Bills are always in the mix. Joe Burrow's coming back, going to be full health. So since he's in it, Aaron Rodgers is going to be, back from injury. Mm-hmm. Chargers first year with Harbaugh, with what's his name, with Herbert. I'm gonna tell you right now, the AFC is just completely stacked. And then also,
what about Green Bay? No, Green Bay's not in NFC.
They're NFC, but then the Texans too. Texans with Stroud in year 2, so I'm like, the AFC is loaded. Like, it's
don't sleep on the Steelers. Russell
and the Bills.
He might ignite the Steelers.
He might, and they got Patrick Queen too. They got their defense got stronger over there in the AFC. So, and then you never know with the Browns too. Browns, they Flacco's going now, but I think. We'll see. I mean, they have Watson, right? So Watson will be back next year from injury. Like, I don't know. We'll see. They have a pretty good defense over there too. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. The AFC is strong. Like, I think in the NFC, the main teams are us, the Niners. Dallas does Dallas things. It'll be good during the season. We know what Dallas is going to do, and it'll be good during the season. Lions will probably,
And the Ravens, by the way, guys, were undefeated up to about last preseason, undefeated preseason. So they're absolute beasts, the kings of preseason. But they lost last year, apparently. Because, did we have a draw with them? I think the Eagles had a tie. Or did we? No, we didn't beat them. We had like a tie, I think. Or we lost to them.
Preseason? Because we didn't play in the season.
No, we didn't. No. We didn't play in the season. We played them in the preseason, if I'm mistaken. And we lost, I think. But, I mean,
I don't even watch preseason games anymore, man. It is like
nobody plays that you care about. It's other guys, other benchers, really, and some of the reserves. But yeah, there were. I have to highlight that. But the Ravens, real talk, are actually pretty good in season 2. And like you said, they're not going to lose a lot of players, except for a couple of coaching staff and coordinators, and maybe a few players here and there. So yeah, there'll be a tough one. But I still think like Eagles beat the Ravens, but they play a certain way where they could maybe give us a little tough time. But
Chiefs are always the team to beat. Man. After I saw what the Chiefs did this year, man, it's just crazy. Went on the road, beat the Bills. Went on the road, beat the Ravens, and then beat the best team in the NFC.
Good season review.
Better the Chiefs than the Niners. They're little crybabies. Glad the crybabies lost.
Yeah, man. We all came around to the same side. I know we were kind of like, I know Rob was like for the Chiefs and stuff. And then,
we talked about it.
We all came around to the Chiefs side. None of us were rooting for the Niners, man.
I did, man. And then one thing I will say, you were talking about the NFC heavy hitters, Steve. Where you mentioned the Niners, you mentioned the Eagles, you said Cowboys do Cowboys things, and you mentioned the Lions is
the Lions,
the Packers as well. Now the Packers
Dolphins,
is the one that I'm worried about. I'm worried about the Packers, man. The Packers are no joke, man. I'm telling you, Packers are no joke. Watch out for the Packers because I don't know if y'all remember this. This was about a year or two ago. We were playing the Packers. Aaron Rodgers was still there, Now, he got hurt during this game, and they put Jordan in. And, man, they started to come back on us a little bit. And we just won that game. But I never forgot that game where he was about to come back on us, and then they felt comfortable enough to let Aaron Rodgers go. That says a lot to me.
Yeah. There's another stableman there.
Yeah, no, the Packers, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was the only team I was missing there. The Packers, I think Jordan Love is the real deal. Like, he looks really good in that Cowboys game, I'll be honest. He hasn't making some crazy passes. Like, I think the Packers are going to be good.
And they just picked up Josh Jacobs.
I'm going to be watching them closely.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, dude, you're right. Yeah, dude. Another free agent. Yeah.
Watch out for the Packers, man. We'll see how everything kind of goes.
Yeah, so that's going to be a battle between the Lions and them. I mean, the Vikings are kind of probably in like a rebuild mode now because they just Kirk just went to the Falcons and they're in a different mode.
I heard Justin might leave too.
Yeah. Can you imagine? He leaves
the Buccaneers. We got the Bucs. I mean, we have a lot. There's a lot of teams,
I mean, Baker,
but we're not going to
Baker, okay. I mean, the Bucs always have a good defense. I'll be honest. They always have a solid defense over there, but that'd be all right. Like that division is still the worst defense in NFC. NFC South.
I have a question. What's going on with two teams on ass? Because I've been a little at the loop with these ones. Now the Miami Dolphins, they were pretty decent last year. How are the chances this upcoming year? Like, are they rebuilding anything? Anybody know about that? And Carolina, the Panthers. I haven't heard nothing from. They were good last year.
Explosive team, but the Dolphins just they
never have an edge to go all the way down. They always kind of fade away. They fade away. Yep. Kind of how the Vikings doing. Well, same thing with the fucking Cowboys. But that's a whole other story. We're not trying to get into all these Cowboys, Eagles, and what the Cowboys have been doing. But now the Panthers have been looking kind of bad. I know the Giants stunk last year.
That organization.
Screwed up. They got to do something about that. And the Giants.
They drafted the wrong quarterback. They should have got C.J. Stroud. They got Bryce Young.
It's their fault. Yeah. Nothing you can do about that.
Some pieces, man. I don't think he's that bad. They just need to surround him some pieces. That's all
Yeah,
he needs.
I'll be honest. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. Like, just seeing some games last year, I don't know. We'll see. It was 1 year. I just personally don't believe. Like from things I saw, even as bad as that team was, like his mechanics. I mean, here's the thing: Jalen didn't look fantastic his first year. Not as bad as Bryce Young looked, but he turned it around in year 2. We'll see. It does take a little bit, so I'm willing to wait and see because it is only 1 year. And you see what they do. But that's the thing. If he stays in Carolina, they might not surround him with those pieces. That's the problem. That organization is just, I don't know, man. It's just.
Yeah, I agree a little bit. Like, we got to give him some time, but at the same time, I do agree with you to an extent, Steve, because, like, he didn't make an impact. Like, even as a bad team, a great quarterback always still makes an impact.
Exactly.
Like, if you look at C.J. Stroud, he made an impact. His team was way better, but he had an impact. So look at Burrow. Burrow came in, horrible team, made an impact. So I'm a little worried about him, but like I still think he just needs some help, and he'll be fine.
So guys, going back to some of your points about the NFC, right? Because we're on the NFC right here, and I feel like this is relevant for us, right, as Eagles fans, right now. I'm looking at the stipulations, the contracts for Eagles versus the Giants versus the Cowboys. I just want to get you guys' opinion on Daniel Jones costing the Giants $47.1 million total. Dak Prescott costing the Cowboys $59.4 million total. And it says that right here, and I'll show you this to you. So it says that Eagles with Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley are only costing the Eagles $36.3 million. So I don't know if y'all can see that.
That's crazy.
It just the total cost of everybody together here. What's everyone's take on that?
That's crazy. That's how much those players are getting paid, like per year, or is it like on like a certain like amount of years, or like how's that spread out?
I believe it's total contracts now per year. I can do a little bit more research because I don't have
fine,
that. But I mean, just the total. I mean, it's just like
that's
the
crazy.
total hit on the franchises, as a whole. I mean, that's crazy to me.
I mean, my first thing is like, who thought it was good to let Daniel Jones get $47 million? Is like beyond. I mean, Dak. I mean, here's the thing: Dak Prescott, would like get that type of money. I'll be honest, Dak isn't a bad. He's not a horrible quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Dak Prescott's a horrible quarterback. He had the 1 year we had the crazy interceptions 2 years ago, but like I don't think he's a horrible quarterback. I think just in big moments, Dak just does not shine. Like you see the difference. Like in big moments, Dak just doesn't get it done. Daniel Jones, he's like a game manager, man. I don't see anything special about like Daniel Jones. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see anything special about him. He can move. Like he has some wheels on him for his build, but I don't see anything special about Daniel Jones.
Yeah, me neither.
Right.
I don't see how they paying him so much. I think
He's
that's
all
just
right.
the loyalty that the Giants tend to have. Like they haven't had much QB turnover over there. Eli Manning, 15 years, and Daniel Jones. So they haven't had much QB turnover over there. So I think they're very
No.
QB loyal. But yeah, they're paying that guy way too much. He's an average quarterback. Nothing really stands out. And the amount of money they're paying him compared to the four players we have, the difference in the value that we're getting compared to the money they're paying is a world's difference. So hey, more wins for us.
Exactly. That's the importance of a good front office, man. You see, like if you have a good front office, you can make these types of things happen. It's like we got Howie Roseman, and I don't know who I forget who the GM is of the Giants, but it's just like certain organizations, like at certain points, you have to look at the leadership up top. It's like, what's going on? Are you surrounding your team every year with the best possible like opportunities? Like I don't know, how do you give Daniel Jones $47 million, but then you don't want to give Saquon Barkley a contract? Understand he's a running back and not a quarterback, but Saquon's a special talent, whereas Daniel Jones is not. Like,
Exactly. Different
to
levels.
me, that doesn't make sense.
Some bad moves, bro. Some bad, ideologies, some bad choices in club management and the way that they're paying the players, who they're recruiting. Yeah, Barkley gets. I mean, in my opinion, he's better than these guys, but sometimes the teams, like I said, teams also pay the guys that like are more for them. Like guys that are like more prone to stay there, that are more pushovers, and guys that are like more like brash. Look at, for example, like it's a better example. Look at T.O. They ain't gonna pay no T.O. type of guy, but they'll pay somebody who stays there and picks up their bullshit. They'll pay them.
The Giants have more turnover at the head coaching position than they do at the quarterback position since Tom Coughlin. Look at that. Like, I'm like, all the coaches they've had, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
But then they still got guys like Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Steve calling out players by name.
Sterling Shepard been there for how many years now? Like, it's just crazy.
Man, it's crazy to see like how Quez is irrelevant now. Speaking of trash, like I'm sorry, I gotta like he's gonna be what, a 4th or 5th string wide receiver.
He's a free agent.
Oh
yeah,
he's a free agent.
Yeah, they got rid of him. I think that's why they brought in Parker. They released they made Zacchaeus a free agent too. I think they released Zacchaeus too.
I like Zacchaeus.
I actually liked him. Yeah,
I like Zacchaeus. Yeah.
You never know. They might bring him back as like a practice squad guy or something. You know what I mean? I think they released him. You never know. Like, just in case, like Devontae Parker, somebody get hurt. You know, you got somebody there. I know. Unless you want like to try to get a job somewhere else, which I'm sure he. You know, it all depends. Like certain players might just want to like try to win. So you never know. But then we have Boston Scott at one point as like a practice squad guy. And I heard the Giants are trying to get him too. I was like, yo, they're tired of him.
The Giant killer.
They're tired of him cooking.
The Giant killer.
That's crazy. And you heard Corey Clement, speaking of running backs, wants to come back. He's like, I want to be an Eagle for one last time. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of fell off.
Do we still have Gainwell? We kept Gainwell, right? I guess Gainwell, like, is Gainwell still going to be behind Barkley?
I'd take Clement over Gainwell, though. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. We got Barkley. I'd take, because Barkley and Clement, different levels, completely different levels of play, but they have very similar styles of play. You know what I'm saying? Similar body types in a sense. But it's just, Saquon is a generational talent, man. I don't understand all the skepticism around Saquon because before he came to the Eagles, it just says this, you couldn't say anything wrong about Saquon Barkley before he came to the Eagles. Now that he's with the Eagles, he's playing for the Eagles. Now is all of a sudden, well, I don't know, he's very injury prone. All of a sudden, all this BS comes up about his injury history. That was like, come on, man. Y'all were not talking about this before he came to Philly.
We're a pessimistic city, that's for sure. But I was going to say, man, come on, man. You don't want no Rashad Penny sitting behind Barkley?
Whatever happened to him? He never even played.
I don't even know. He played like a couple snaps in the one game where like Gainwell was hurt or something, and like that was it. Like,
man, Casper, you turned into Casper, the friendly ghost, bro.
That's crazy.
What do you guys think about this Bryce Huff signing on the 3-year? I think that's low key a sneaky decent move.
Yeah, I think it's a sharp move. I heard his pass rush rate was up there with Michael Parsons. His pass rush win rate, right up there with Michael Parsons. And he even quoted he's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Hey, by all means, talk your talk, man. So, hey, we just want to see you back it up here in Philly. So, and I think he'll fit in well with the 3-4 scheme. He's a quicker, more shiftier DN, and he's also very strong and wins the one-on-ones very well. So. I'm excited to see what he can do. Obviously, we're getting with a Sweat for him probably. So I think he'll do well. We'll see.
It's a good point. I think Howie's that's the thing. He's making moves for players that are going to fit that 3-4 scheme too of Fangio, which is I think a lot of people don't understand that when they're looking at like, oh, you want this player, you want that player. Yeah, but they do have to still fit your defensive scheme. They still have to fit it. They have to fit it. They could have all the talent in the world, but if they don't fit the scheme, it's going to be hard to plug them in. What do you guys think about Reddick? You think they're going to bring Reddick back? Because I've heard some crazy stuff. I think you gotta bring him back. Like me personally,
I like him a lot.
Me too.
I heard he wants TJ Watt money though.
He wants money though. That's the thing. It's like he needs to work somewhere in the middle. It's like, dude, you got an opportunity to stay home. You're a Temple guy. stay home, and still make some decent money and win a championship. It's like, I understand he's had I think he was like the only player that had 10 sacks for us last year. The year before he had obviously 19, including the postseason. Like, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I would ride this wave for the moment. And that's the thing, defensive ends, like defensive tackles, it's not like running backs. They're going to get paid. You know what I mean? It's like offensive linemen, D linemen, they get paid throughout their career. You saw what Hargrave got for the freaking with the Niners. He got paid. So I don't know. Maybe even if they get him for 1 year, you know what I mean? Just trying to, because this year I think we're obviously trying to be all in. Like, we're trying to win a championship. So
Right. I think he'll fit in well with our scheme too. So
yeah,
I think he just has to put his pride to the side a little bit. I think because his numbers is up there with TJ Watt the past 2 years.
Yeah,
so he wants that TJ Watt money, but TJ Watt is TJ Watt, and the Eagles we're not gonna blow our cap rate for Hassan Reddick.
No,
I know they're not. No. So he gotta either put his pride to the side a little bit to win the championship, or go to another team.
Yep, exactly. It's like we're not going to sell out. Like, that's the thing. As much as we like want him and need him, we're not going to sell out for that. Like the Steelers, they don't have a lot of game changers on their team. So TJ Watt is like a huge one. Like he's their best player. So I mean, if you can look at offensive and defensive side, I'm gonna say TJ Watt's their best player. So obviously, Steelers are gonna give TJ Watt that kind of money. We don't have the like you said, we're not gonna blow our cap rate for one player. So
yeah, I agree. A 1 year deal. Just come back with a 1 year deal and see how it goes. And if you ball out, you could say, hey, listen, I took this last shot with the Eagles. They really dipped into free agency to get the players to win a championship. I signed a 1 year deal to try to go for it. Hey, it worked out. It either works out or it doesn't. Either way, next time around, you get paid.
Exactly. They're gonna have to find somebody to replace Cox too. Essentially, like we said though, Graham and Cox are not even like Graham's still here. Like they're not playing the full snaps anyway because of their age and like they're older. But I mean, I think they'll probably draft replace that.
We got Carter and Davis.
Is that that's what I'm saying. We still obviously I was about to say that Carter year 2. Jordan Davis, another beast, and then Josh Sweat will be gone, but we got Bryce Huff, and then hopefully we can keep Reddick, and then Brandon Graham's still here. They might still try to draft, though. We have a lot of draft picks. If we hold on to some, probably try to draft like another defensive player, probably another O lineman too. If we can draft for best available, anyway. I think our next move is a corner if we can. If we get Surtain, it's gonna be. That's why I said just quote it now. Like
Super Bowl bust.
Yeah, exactly. If we can get a stud corner, because then you got Slay and Surtain. That'd just be nasty. I know Slay is like getting older in age, but that's just nasty, man. Crazy combo.
We're gonna need that to stop Mahomes, man.
Yep, because they're the standard. They're the standard. The only team that's ever been able to beat them is the Bengals, man. Like in the AFC anyway, the only team that takes them out. And I'm gonna be honest, it was really close for the Eagles playing the Bengals. To be honest, if it wasn't for that crazy, unsportsmanlike conduct called shovel on the sideline at the end of the game, I think it put them in like field goal range. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, the Bengals were so close to playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So then Burrow would have been 2-0 against Mahomes, like in the.
Man, I wish that was the case, man. I really feel like we would have trashed Bengals in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like as good as Joe Burrow is, and he's really good, but I just feel like the Bengals don't have the the ref help.
Yeah. I don't think we would have smoked them, but we would have won. We would have won the Super Bowl. I don't know if we would have like smoked them by like 2 touchdowns or nothing like that. It would have probably been somewhat decently close because I do think Joe Burrow would have still got his. But I'll be honest, Eagles would have won.
Yeah. And just to go off of your point, Steve, about what the Eagles are building right now, we got 8 draft selections in the 2024 NFL draft. 8.
Okay.
8.
Wow.
So if we take a look here, we got. This is from the official Philadelphia Eagles website. We got the first overall sorry, not first overall. First round. I wish we had the first overall. But I really don't, because then that meant that our previous year was complete trash. That's a real Super Bowl hangover. But first round, number 22 overall. Second round, number 50 overall. And actually 2 second rounds, 50 and 53. And then a third round, 98 overall. This is the one that they're talking about right now. And they say the NFL is investigating us for tampering with the Saquon Barkley acquisition. This is the one that I would anticipate if they conclude for whatever reason. I don't think they're going to find anything from the investigation, but if they do,
I don't think so either. I don't think so. But that's what they're saying.
If they do, they'll take away the third round pick, the number 98 overall, which it would be a heck of a blow because we don't have a pick after that until the 5th round, number 161 overall. So I'm hoping that nothing comes of that investigation. I really don't believe that we tampered. I just think that it's a lot of haters out there, honestly.
Of course.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We might lose a couple.
Succeed, that's all.
If we do make a move for Surtain, we might lose a couple of those, but still have like 6 or whatever. But I feel like if we give them Josh Sweat, we're going to need to give him a couple picks too. It definitely ain't going to be Sweat for Surtain straight up. That'd be like the fleece of the year if that happens. But,
Howie.
I remember when we got Jay Ajayi for like a 4th or 5th round pick. That was crazy. The year we won the Super Bowl, we got Jay Ajayi for like pennies.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah, Howie might get it done. Who knows? But
yeah, man, they're looking in shape so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep monitoring that Patrick Surtain thing. We'll see what happens. But if we get him, like I said, that's just gonna be it's filthy because the offense is already loaded. Then you're loading the defense too on top of it. Like you said, it's gonna be Jalen Carter's year 2 for Carter, and then Davis too. So this team, we got it. And the funny thing is, we're only like 2 days in. You know what I mean? We still have a hell of a lot of time, and we'll definitely have a podcast in the future. Like once the Eagles, maybe after the draft and all that, and then like going into next year, we'll be able to kind of have a better feel for where we're at headed into this year and stuff. We'll definitely
do one in summer, like cover some more. Yeah, on the Eagles and the NFL. Maybe the draft. You guys like if you guys want to come back, we could do something similar. There's a lot to do still, a lot to talk about, a lot to happen. And, of course, we have baseball coming up in April, so we'll be stuck with some MLB. But everybody's waiting for this hot summer to end so, we can see what next season brings. It's going to be – yeah, man, it's going to be a good one, though. We're definitely rebuilding our team.
Yeah, because I hadn't had much to talk about here for the Sixers because, without Embiid, they're just trash. Like, they just don't look good. They don't look good, you know what I mean, without Joel Embiid. So,
they haven't looked that good,
I don't even know if there's no guarantee that Embiid's coming back, and even if he does, he's not going to be full health. But I hate to say that as a Sixers fan, but I just think Boston's going to win it all this year, man. They just look better than everybody, like head and shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Boston. Yeah.
I don't see anybody taking them out.
Not, but yeah.
I don't see anybody taking them out.
So I hope you have is the Eagles, man. Let's get it.
Eagles and the Phillies. I think the Phillies. I personally, you heard it here first. I think the Phillies are going to win the World Series this year. So I think they are. I think they're better. Yeah, I think they're better than they were last year. And I think we choked it away ourselves. We should have won this. We should have won last year. So I think they're going to win it. So maybe we'll have 2 championships this upcoming year. We'll see.
I'm with it.
Last time we did that, we didn't do much, but we'll see. We had 3 teams and Phillies, soccer, and of course we lost Super Bowl. But this year might be a different year, so we'll see.
Yeah, they got the Union too. Who knows what the Union do too?
Yeah, the Union are good, right? Rich, you're watching the Union.
It's tough. It's tough because Messi's in the East now with the Miami.
Yeah, play against Messi. Yep.
Yeah, that's the only thing. If we can somehow take Miami or I don't know, man. Messi is just a different level.
Hopefully, Messi doesn't play one game, and then we can just somehow take advantage.
Flyers are on the up and up too. This year they're not going to win a Stanley Cup likely this year, but they have a lot of optimism. They have a lot of optimism for the future. They're doing a lot better as a rebuild team than people thought. So we might have a championship in hockey in the next few years too. We'll see. It looks like they're on the up and up.
The city will be lit regardless.
That's the longest drought, I think, in Philly sports. I think it's hockey. I think they haven't won since like 75. And then the Sixers was like 83, I think. So.
It's crazy because even in the UFC, we've done better than hockey because Eddie Alvarez was champion in 2016 before Conor knocked him out. So even in fighting, we actually did better than in hockey. And we still have Danny Swift Garcia. He was a champion, but he lost the title a while ago. But.
George, you getting pulled over there? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, I am. Look,
About to say, dog, what is going on?
I was gonna say you get
Good.
pulled over.
I'm getting caught up, man. I'm a criminal.
Yo, they say you want a locked in podcast. You about to be locked in somewhere else.
You about to be
I'm about to be the locked up podcast.
Locked in jail.
I'm like 8 kind of stuff.
You might be locked in jail.
Listen, the locked in podcast will be done from jail. Okay, if they give you a cell phone, I'm just like this in an orange suit.
Yo,
Live from a
Lights,
prison
right?
cell.
Lights.
Live from
that's
a prison cell.
hilarious. Yo, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I took a trip. I got bored at home, guys. I got to leave real quick. I couldn't do it no more.
Yeah,
So,
no,
I got business to attend to, but yeah, I have to leave. But I was like, I'm gonna do it driving. Ironically, I'm kind of doing it. He told me probably too, but they're busy. They stopped the street. They did some kind of construction work being done. So I knew somebody's gonna see it. Like, yo, what's up with the police lights? And Steve was like, right on it. Nope. Don't miss the beat.
Yeah, now I'm excited to see what the Eagles do the rest of free agency. They said I'll be monitoring like the corner position, but then after we have the whole draft coming up, and then even after the draft, you still have opportunities to make moves before the season starts.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
we'll see what happens.
I want to say that the Eagles, their little market things going on, like as far as like them like buying players, selling players. I don't think it's over yet, but I mean, obviously they're just trying to like link the ones that they're not using and they're buying the new ones. That's what it seems like to me because they got the new ones. They got Barkley and Deontay, what's the name? Smith, right? No, the other guy.
Who? Devontae Parker.
Parker, yeah.
Yeah, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the defensive side, and Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff is a big one too, big acquisition. So yeah, man, I'm excited for this season, man. I mean, just like I said, I want to figure out some more insights, which is again around the practices. I tell you a lot, like between like July, like after June, July, August. Preseason starts around that time, so around August. But I mean, yeah, we're gonna have our work cut out for us. But I think we should do another episode right before draft, around the draft time, and then right before that we always do around preseason to see what the schedule looks like. Once they announce the Eagles' schedule and everything, I'm just excited to see who we're gonna play first. But we'll see when it comes. When the time comes, it'll come.
Exactly. Let's see something on this.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
No, you go ahead.
No, I was saying there's an article, but it's saying that Broncos are urged to deal Patrick Surtain II in a wild trade proposal with the Eagles, and Josh Sweat's involved in it. So there's a lot of things on this. If they, it says that they're urging them to do that. That's crazy. I don't know. We'll see. But I just saw the Devin White one that you were saying earlier, so I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens. We'll monitor it the rest of the way. We'll post anything on the Facebook pages too, guys, and Instagram as we see things. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on. I think we can probably just get ready to wrap it up here.
Definitely thank you guys for coming on. As always, it's good perspective. Two of my favorite football buddies, Rich and Rob, and your knowledge, guys. Obviously, you guys are good and stuff, so we always bring some good episodes. But yeah, it's fun, man. I mean, let's see how everything goes, and who knows? Maybe we'll have a little football game in the summer. Play a little football, get something going on, guys. Something. It's been so long, We need to fuck around and get like a little group thing going on. I don't know, like bring like 12 guys, see what we could do, That'd be nice.
I'm with it. I'm trying to burn some people, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta cook somebody, right? Cook all this cooking we're talking about. Let's make it work.
Make it work, bro.
Exactly.
I mean, we got people we can bring in. We got big dudes, small dudes, fast dudes, strong man. Get a little, I don't know, like if we can bring up to like 15 guys that are kind of committed to playing the game in the summer, like one day, we could do it. Maybe some basketball, right? What do you guys think? I'm with it. Shit, I'm game.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's like the hell we'll do it, man.
Make that work.
Yeah, Rich, Rob, thanks for coming on tonight, guys. As always, I know we'll be having our discussions and stuff as like the season, as like the off season kind of continues, and we'll keep you guys here at the podcast all informed as well.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Sounds good. Pleasure as always, guys.
Yeah, go Birds, guys.
Great show, man.
It's Howie Szn. What do they say? It's Howie Vision. We're just living in it.
We're just living in it, baby.
Hey, all right, guys. All right, fellas. Have a good night, everybody else. See you next week for episode 166.
Take care, y'all.
Take care, guys.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
You too.
Thank you.
Later.